It's late at night. I'm downtown Tonopah. We don't really have a team. So when I investigate a lot of places, I do them by myself. And that's fine. I'm more productive and get more work done by myself. The reason why I'm out here is to share some ghost stories with you. Maybe a couple. I'll elaborate more tomorrow, but at night, as creepy as this town is, it's a perfect time to film and share a little bit about the ghosts that surround the Mizpah Hotel. And of course, it's named after the Mizpah mine. It's a 5-story Victorian hotel. It was built in 1907. It's obviously very well preserved and in very good shape. The building's amazing. It did sit abandoned for a while. I did eat tonight at their cafe. I had a red Irish ale. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Along with some fried chicken. Nice meal with soup, chicken wings, breaded mushrooms. It's a nice little place. It'll get a good review from us. This is known to be haunted by the Lady of the Red. People often say that this hotel is haunted by prostitutes. I'm not sure how they think of that. However, there is a lot of female apparitions seen here, so it is possible. Back in the day, these prostitutes, they work for practically little or nothing, and a lot of times they were strangled, murdered, killed, abused. It is what it is. The Wild West was lawless. I mean, it was harsh back in those days. People say the lady in red, you can smell her perfume. Sometimes they see her ghosts. Sometimes they see her talking to a minor ghost. You know, it's energy. It's possible she had a connection with the miner and his ghost and her ghosts are living happily ever after in the afterlife. I don't know. But it also says that a lot of people see a green or bluish ghost of a woman and several miners or men, and they quickly vanish. I know a lot of the workers here tend to have apparition sightings. They also said on election night a politician had passed away, and his ghost haunts the Mizpah. The body was kept on ice in a bathtub, and a lot of times people will see a ghost or an apparition surrounding some of the bathtubs, laughing. Also, many miners have been seen in the basement. I don't know if a lot of you realize this, but this building, there was a vault below it. And so they stored, for the Mizpah mine, probably silver bars, more than likely. It was the Pittman Cafe that we ate at. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. And a lot of famous people have eaten here. I mean, when you think about it, a lot of famous people have stayed at this hotel. Some of the most famous people were Wyatt Earp, Jack Dempsey, Howard Hughes. And they had links to the hotel for many years, all famous, and all have claimed to have an experience with the Lady in Red. She seems to be attracted to men who stay at the hotel more than women. There's a story also that she's the ghost of a prostitute who was beaten and killed by an ex-boyfriend. Another one says she was killed by her husband after she was caught cheating. It's just very well known what goes on here. And then there's a deli down here called the Cozy Corner Deli and Coffee Bar. It says food's been thrown, bell rings by itself, and it says the owner's father may haunt this place. And tomorrow I'll pull up at the elementary school and I'll do a film, I believe, on a hatchet man at the site of the Silver Rim Elementary School. So there's a lot of little ghost stories. And I believe the reason why the basement's haunted, I'm not sure, but I heard that someone was killed in the vault where the silver's stored, or there was some theft that went wrong and someone was stabbed. I know that there's activity here, and I know TV shows have done this place, which really doesn't do it justice compared to what we're gonna do when we get a chance to investigate this place. You know, TV's entertainment. I'm more of a realist, and a lot of people come to ghost hunt this place, and they just don't realize it's not gonna always be haunted. You know, people with their dust orbs and everything else. You gotta understand that the lady in red, there's just no concrete evidence. There's not many apparition photos. It's all speculation. As ghost hunters or paranormal investigators, we must apply science, but we also must use common sense to what we do. And I see a lot of paranormal investigators, like I see a couple come out today, and I'm thinking, you know, these ladies don't know what they're doing. It's fine if you want to learn and go out and look for some spooks. But then you get these people who get a piece of dust or something that can be explained, and you know, if you explain it to them, oh no, you know, they get pissed off. They get really mad because they don't want a reasonable explanation. Do I hear a party going on? I do. The other reason why I'm out tonight, it's getting pretty rowdy, is that I want to check out a few abandoned houses that are nearby. Maybe get some pictures inside, possibly. Pretty cool. Man, that saloon is kicking. And people are pretty hammered in there. You can just listen and tell. Take you on a little night tour downtown. But I basically came on out tonight to kind of share a couple of those ghost stories about the Mizpah. And of course, walk downtown and see if I could find anything paranormal, which I have not yet. But I am taking some EVP and some photography. And I'm going to look in a couple of these back alleys in a few minutes. There's a couple old cabins original in the town. They're abandoned due to fire or the elements. Let's see if we can find any paranormal activity surrounding them. Those are the abandoned houses. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do them because that is a cop sitting right, I don't know if you can see. That's the Popo right there talking. Oh yeah. They got all night long. But you guys get the idea. You see them. A couple creepy old houses. We'll go down here. Because I'm telling you right now, it's not worth wasting my time. Hopefully they don't stop me for looking suspicious, because I'm just a guy walking around taking photos. But like I say, they got nothing but time on their side. Streets are quite dark. It's one of the darkest towns in the world. But it's alright. Most of this is boarded up. I did not see the stone building. Wow, that's creepy. The first stone building that came to Tonopah sits right behind where I park at the Jim Butler Hotel. The Jim Butler Hotel, if you look, that's my hotel right there, but I'm above it. And I'm next to the Mizpah. But it was a winery. It was one of the first stone buildings that came here, was a winery. And I'll film it tomorrow on my way out. I'm going to be heading to the oldest section of, oldest area of Tonopah. You guys will be quite pleased. A lot of mines, mining equipment, cabins, remnants of the original town. Yeah, you definitely don't want to, as an urban explorer, I don't mind trespassing, but I'd have to be stupid to do it right in front of the popo here because they're bored and they may not arrest you, but they will ticket you. They don't care. They just don't care. Other cops are cool with that. A lot of cops are urban explorers. I had a couple cops right when you want to join my team when I lived out back east. Probably was a hotel or some kind of old apartment building. Now it's boarded completely. This is quite strange. A lot of these buildings are very restored or in use. There's a few abandoned buildings in Tonopah, but not too many. But if you guys look, this is FD, volunteer. It's the old fire department right here, man. Town's pretty dead. Like I said, the saloon had about 30 people in there. That's just not my type of style. Everybody's having a good time. Oh, there's a vehicle parked here. Yeah, everybody's having a good time. Well, that's not part of it. That's separate here. But everyone's having a good time drinking, and that's all great. That is all great. However, you know, it's kind of gets, when you deal with small towns, everybody knows everybody. And a lot of people are very mainstream. So when a guy like me walks in and says, hey, 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 surprise, surprise, with my black nails and my long hair and tats, people tend to get a little scared. And they don't want to party with the Lord. It's like I could have gone in there and had a few brews and turned around and headed back out to some of these abandoned houses. But the town's really creepy at night, possibly because it's so dark. It's one of the darkest, again, it's one of the darkest cities in the country. Best places to view the stars in the Milky Way. But a lot of these places are haunted. And there are some ghost stories. There are some tragedies and disasters and like the plague that happened. People died in every part of this town. And you know, you've seen how large the cemetery is, so you can imagine that a few hundred people, actually a few thousand over the last 100 years, has died in Tonopah. And some of them are buried out here. And not just buried, but you have to also keep in mind that where there's history of these individuals or townsfolk who lived here, there's also ghosts. The thing is, when you walk through this area, you just get the feeling like something's watching from the windows. It's just that type of town. It's a creepy town. I never thought, 10 years ago, if you asked me about Tonopah, in a million years I'd never think that would ever walk through it at night. It's pretty amazing. But not in a million years. You'd never think about this. But when I moved out west, the one thing I promised to myself was I'd do a lot of living ghost towns, semi-ghost towns, abandoned towns, and the mills and the mines and everything else that comes with it. It's not just the ghost town that's haunted, but each of these buildings probably has at least one or two ghost stories. It's quite amazing how stories are very similar. I heard something creepy. That was weird. Yeah, I had to board our little abandoned house mission. Like I said, I'm not going to go exploring in the middle of the night with The Popo waiting. Hell, this might be Popo right here. People like to just sit in their vehicles. Backside of the Mispa. I had some lady with 2 dogs try to approach me just recently and go, "What are you doing? You know what, this place is known for tourism, people coming up here to ghost hunt, ghost tours, all that. So it should be no surprise that someone would see someone taking pictures, even at night." I was trying to get some ghostly shots in some of the alleyways, not alleyways, but down some of the streets at the backside of some of these buildings, and this lady has the nerve to come up to me. "What are you doing?" Nosy. This place is open at 8. Wow, pretty cool. Fire department. That's the second fire department I've seen. How cool is that? You're looking at the oldest stone building. I was talking about it earlier with everyone. I decided to do it at night since I'm passing by it. It's the oldest stone building in Tonopah. It's the first stone building that came to be, and it was a winery. Of course, the wooden section to the left was probably built on later. It appears just based on the architecture. I could be wrong, but more than likely it's exactly what it is. A lot of bust out windows, and you can tell by the architecture and the paneling or the siding. Definitely 2 different eras. I'd say this came probably in the 1910, 1920, while the stone building came in the earlier 1900s. Not much earlier, 5 to 10 years maybe. So we're about to end our little exploration. Did a little urbex tonight, some photography, and a little mix of paranormal investigator, as some people call it, ghost hunting. The sign on the Mispa Hotel speaks heavy volumes. When you look at that, you're just like, wow. It's a very classy, elaborate place. A lot of antiques, old-time pictures, beautiful chandeliers. It is a nice hotel. It's a happy place. And, I'm sure back in the day some bad things went on, but it's a happy place. Everybody's dining, drinking, having a good time, and service was really good, so kudos to them. The food was great. We had a whole table of food and ales tonight after a hard day of investigating Belmont, Nevada, a ghost town, or a living ghost town, and the Tonopah Cemetery at Tonopah Military Air Base. And tomorrow, we'll wrap up our daytime exploration and research here in Tonopah, and we'll head home. We've been out a couple days in the winter and the cold, and it's starting to have a toll. I'm starting to feel a little exhaustion climbing through snow, and you take spills and falls. We work hard at what we do. But check us out, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. We're doing a very thorough job. We're doing a night portion and a day portion of spooky Tonopah, Nevada, a semi-ghost town with a lot of silver mining history. The boom is gone, but a lot of history and figures who've lived here and their energy and many legends and tales still remain surrounding the Tonopah area. Every place is historic. Every place has a tale. Whether it's ghost, an outlaw, a murder where the individual ends up haunting that place, such as with the Mispa. This is one of the most haunted, spooky cities in Nevada. And at night, it's dark, desolate, very cold, and very dark, and every star is out, which is gorgeous. I like doing night investigations, but some people don't like doing that. And every place has a tale, a story, even a haunting. And if it's not haunted, it's stone ruins like these are still pretty cool to stand in front of and check out. I'm out of here. I definitely look forward to coming back to Tonopah in a few months or sometime next year to work with the MISPA and do some more research and investigations. But for now, we'll have a lot of extensive research that we put into this project on our website, and we'll continue to add by revisiting this town, but now delving into these locations more. Like, for example, we'll come back next time and we'll investigate the Mizpah, because we're going to delve deeper into the town, not just what the town looks like on the outside, but we want to take you on in some places and journey in the inside. We want to take you inside some of these places. We also want to use reason to substantiate our claims that a place is haunted. And I do believe I got some good ghostly photos and EVPs tonight. I do best taking apparition photos when nobody's around, my family's not here, so I've been working very hard tonight trying to communicate with the dearly departed, and hopefully it'll produce results. Just want to say good night. Second night in Tonopah. We'll wrap up tomorrow in the Desert Queen mining district area, and we'll check out Old Town. This is also Old Town, but if you really want to get to the original remnants of the town, such as the miner cabins and such, you got to go to where the camp originally began and the first claims were laid, which is just a few blocks up this hill on the side of the mountain. Peace, everybody. Peace out.